Meanwhile, Donald Trump has been telling reporters that an armada of US Navy vessels is heading towards Iran. The revelation comes as the president renewed warnings to Tehran against killing protesters or restarting its nuclear program. According to US media reports, an aircraft carrier and several guided missile destroyers will arrive in the Middle East in days. Well, Marina Miron from King's College London is a regular guest of ours on military strategy. Welcome back, Marina. What is this armada capable of? And as far as we can tell, what is it supposed to be heading to the Middle East to do?
Good evening, Phil. Well, what we have to understand is what it essentially is. So we have the so-called carrier strike group, with a flagship being the USS Abraham Lincoln, which is an aircraft carrier. And it is accompanied by the carrier strike group, meaning there will be a couple of cruisers and destroyers. So what is it supposed to do? Essentially, it provides, the destroyers and cruisers provide air and missile defense. And the aircraft carrier obviously carries some maybe 80 to 90 aircraft. So you can conduct operations, not just air defense operations, but also support troops on the ground. And essentially what it is, and I wouldn't necessarily call it an armada because we're talking about one carrier strike group, and prior deployments to the Middle East have seen several of those. Right. Meaning that it's mostly a gunboat diplomacy in this case.
Okay, so we're not looking at a sort of a second Venezuela, but the US has attacked Iran previously. It attacked it back in June. So this is there. These boats, these ships are there to do what? To sort of sit there and menacingly kill people, and we'll start bombing. How does this work?
Well, it works to reinforce the U.S. presence in the region without sending another carrier strike group to the region. There are also U.S. forces on the ground. What these ships can do, also gather intelligence. And they serve as a signal. Obviously, it is a part of the U.S. Deterrent posture. And they can be activated if anything happens in the Middle East. Let's say if Iranian proxy groups strike a U.S. base in the Middle East, then the U.S. will make use of these assets. Or if Iran doesn't comply with what is being demanded in terms of its nuclear program, again, or if any kind of other protests arise and the U.S. will deem it necessary to intervene. So essentially, it is force projection, which should communicate that the U.S. is ready to use a force, and it should at the same time communicate to the U.S. allies in the region that that there is U.S. presence, that the United States is taking this seriously. And of course, we have to think a little bit broader than Iran. We have also issues in Syria with Islamic State, with the Kurds in the north. Gaza is still unstable. So it makes sense for the U.S. now, from the U.S. perspective, to have presence there.
Thank you so much for guiding us through that, Marina. Marina Miron from King's College London.
Thank you for having me.